What gave you the idea to start sharing things on social media, like your swim sets and videos and different things like that?
I mean, honestly, it was other coaches doing it. It's the idea of like the more that we can put out there and the more information we can put out there, the more likely someone's going to be helped by it. We don't know how or why, but they're going to be helped by it theoretically. And that's I mean, the biggest reason why I do it. I mean, my goal is to, make an impact on people and, help them to understand this sport a little bit better, even if they don't understand exactly the words that are on the page that I put out there. But
welcome to where we aim to highlight inspiring people doing amazing things in the Swim Strong family and in the greater swim community. I'm here with Coach JJ from Excel Aquatics. I'm super excited for you guys to get to know him and his story. But JJ, first, we got to get to our rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First question, what's your walkout song?
Oh, God, I'm terrible with music. I literally only listen to podcasts. Let me look. What's the most recent song I've listened to? It's probably something Disney related. The first song that came up on my Apple Music is the Mandalorian theme song. So
that's awesome. Hey, that's a pretty good one.
I'll take it.
You said Disney. Can you tell that JJ has kids? All right, next question. If you could spend a day with any celebrity, which celebrity would you spend a day with?
Harrison Ford.
Good pick.
Dude's just fascinating.
How about favorite cartoon character?
And I'm going to be really nerdy here because it's Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars animated series.
Yes. How about your favorite hospitality room that you've ever been to at a swim meet? What swim meet was
HSA
that?
Down in Huntsville. They do. Yeah, we go to Huntsville all the time for LLC championships and stuff like that. And like they do it really, really good.
No hesitation. HSA, shout out to you guys. Good. That's awesome. All right. How about your favorite meal to eat out at a swim meet?
Anything Mexican food. Tacos, burritos, Mexican food. It's a staple.
If you were not a swim coach, what career path would you be on?
I don't know. 100% because I have the philosophy with coaching that I don't have to do it for money. I do it because I genuinely enjoy it. And for the first 8 to 9 years that I coached, I did not do it full time. I did jobs everywhere else. And as long as I could still coach on the side, I was fine with it. So anything that'll pay the bills pretty much.
You're doing what you love most and you can't see yourself doing something else. All right. And last question, what's your favorite thing about Swim Strong Dryland?
Honestly, you guys are killing it in the content game and giving out just amazing resources for athletes. Not even, I mean, you put it out on social media, so it's out there for everybody. And not even just our, committed athletes to your guys' programming. So
we hope you're enjoying this week's podcast. We want to take a quick break to shout out our sponsors.
Attention all high school and club swimmers and divers. Are you ready to take your talents to the next level and dive into the collegiate scene? Look no further than ACC Recruiting, your premier destination for college swimming and diving recruitment education. At ACC Recruiting, we specialize in connecting student athletes with the perfect collegiate programs that match their skills and academic aspirations. Our experienced team will guide you through the recruitment process, providing personalized support every stroke of the way. Don't let your dreams sink. Visit ACC Recruiting today and make a splash in your future. Dive into success with ACC Recruiting, where champions are born. Visit our website now or call us at 314-518-8844. That's 314-518-8844. ACC Recruiting, your gateway to collegiate swimming and diving excellence. Resistance bands are a must-have for Dryland. Elite Athlete Power Band kits are designed to give you a cost-effective way to improve performance and reduce the risk of injury. These high-quality kits last longer and are versatile enough to provide total body workouts anywhere, anytime. The levels of resistance are ideal for progressing youth athletes without weight increases that are too large. Go to the link provided on the Swim Strong Dryland website, click on the Training tab, and search Equipment Suggestion Lists and get your Elite Athlete resistance bands today. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Well, we appreciate you guys being a part of the Swim Strong family too, Excel Aquatics and the whole team. Super excited to be working with and serving you guys, and excited to dive into your story because there's speaking of sharing content, that's something that you've been doing for a while now. Very much an open book as a swim coach, something that I have a lot of respect for because a lot of times people try to keep their secrets safe to their chest. And obviously there's certain things if you're running a business that's proprietary that you keep, for people. But then there's so much information that you can share publicly that everybody can access. And so can you talk, before we dive into that though, can you talk about your journey into coaching? Because you talked about in the rapid fire how you're doing your passion and you were doing a lot of other jobs, but it was part-time for a while. What has your journey into coaching and into swimming in general looked like? I guess give us a quick overview of your career. What led you to where you are?
Yeah, I started swimming when I was 10 on a summer league team, like most people, and one thing led to another. And a few years into it, I was volunteer coaching and doing that, and then graduated high school. And my high school coach, who was also my summer league coach, she kind of does it all, small town Ohio, does a little bit of everything, asked me if I would join her staff essentially as the assistant coach, because the assistant coach we had for all 4 years that I was in high school was leaving to go back to school. And from there, I did 8 years with her, moved to Nashville, and took a year away from it, realized how much I missed it, and emailed the info page for Excel Aquatics and was like, hey, look, like I've got 8 years experience of high-level high school coaching experience in Ohio, and I'd love a job, even if it's just volunteering a couple times a week. And here I am, 7 years later, and I've been full-time for the last 6. So
what is it about coaching, swim coaching specifically, that you love? Like what drew you in to say, hey, you said you took a year after coaching in high school and you realized you missed it. What did you miss most about it? What did you realize you loved that you were like, this is going to be my career now?
Honestly, I didn't even know, like, the whole USA swimming world, like, it wasn't a thing for where I grew up, really. I mean, they have YMCA and a few other things, but like year-round swimming was not super popular where I grew up. And so like I only swam 2 seasons a year and moved here, met my wife, or my now wife, and she was like, yeah, I swam for this club, Excel Aquatics. And I kind of looked into it and I was like, oh, year-round swimming, that's cool. Like, let's see what this is about. And I mean, but with the gap year, it was just like I had just moved to Nashville, didn't know anybody, and other than a few people here or there, but they weren't in the swim world at all. And so then it was like, okay, I've now been here a year, I'm a little more established, something's missing. And to me, it just seemed like it was the pool deck and the connections with the athletes and helping people become better versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How, as far as like coaching for you, what are some of the best, it can be specific or general, some of the best memories you have being a coach? Because I think people really there's so many roles and responsibilities that you're asked to do as a coach, but I'm curious, what are the things that you have remembered most up to this point?
A big one that stands out for me is the first couple years, getting to go to the state meet in Ohio. Because if you haven't been there, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's kind of bowl seating, and so all the spectators are down on top of the pool, looking down on 3 of the sides.
That's cool.
And then you've got all the teams on the deck, and it is one of the most electric atmospheres that I've ever been a part of. And so that one really, really stands out. And then the first couple of years here with Excel too, like, and seeing, the building process of what we've kind of gone through and how it's developed and changed. And now, winning championships, which is fun, don't get me wrong, but like seeing the athletes really buy into that type of mentality and that shift of, hey, we're here, we're competing, to now, oh, we want to win. Oh, we want to go to NCSAs. Oh, we're going to go to Winter Juniors, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing that kind of shift, it's just been unbelievable.
That's really cool to hear, that type of kind of laying the foundation and seeing people grow mentally, physically, and outside the pool too. And that process that you've had the privilege of witnessing at Excel, that you guys have been growing and doing some pretty incredible things over the last handful of years. Can you describe the team culture of Excel, the things that you feel like have really helped shaped the program over the last 6 years or so that you feel like have made the biggest impact on the team? What have you seen like between the athletes, the coaches, organization that have made it successful?
I mean, it's a commitment to swimming. It really is, and I mean that in the most basic sense of it. It's the commitment to developing swimmers, right? And kind of building from that foundation of learn to swim programs, swim lessons into the year-round team, and letting it one feed the next. And it's not always fun and it's not always pretty, but it's what makes the difference, because then those athletes, they grow with the program and they feel the change and they're a part of that change. And it makes them buy in a little bit more, and it makes them believe in the process, because they can see, oh, the person in front of me saw these results. Oh, if they got here, I can get there, and I can be a little better, right? And I mean, it's been one step at a time, and every day you see another athlete, you see that kind of spark light up, and you're just like, all right, they're getting it. We're in. Like, there's one more. There's one more, right?
Yeah. And you guys have a huge focus too, just on the whole athlete and them as people. And can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what are some of the lessons that you try to teach the kids? Because them falling in love with the sport and buying in only happens because you guys as coaches care so much, and they realize that, right? Like, people don't buy into anything if they don't have a connection with the people that that are leading them. And so it starts with the coaching staff really caring about the kids. And I'm wondering, as a coaching staff, what are some of the values that you guys hold dear when it comes to like making an impact on the kids and the way you want to carry yourself?
I mean, I don't know that it's anything different than any other team's doing, honestly, but it's just it really is. It's the showing up and being there for the kids every day, where they know pretty much who's going to be their coach every day, right? And that's a big deal. Because I mean, there are places where you go and, hey, I have this coach today, and tomorrow I might have Tony or Bob or whoever, right? And so like, having that consistency every day where they know who's going to show up, and if they show up, we're going to show up, and vice versa. We show up and we expect them to show up. And it's that accountability and trust and belief in what we've done.
Yeah, that does make a huge difference, just having consistency and trust that you can build something. Let's talk a little bit about your personal coaching journey. So can you share a little bit of your philosophy personally? Share with everybody what groups you coach, and just a general overview of your coaching philosophy. And then I want to dive into some of the things you've been sharing publicly.
Yeah. Me personally, I run our Gallatin location. It's one of our 4 sites here around Greater Nashville. And I'm responsible for everything day to day for that site. And then directly, I am responsible for our senior group. And then anywhere else that needs a coach to fill in, I'm the guy. I kind of go and do it, and which I actually genuinely really enjoy, because it allows me to get to know the kids too, right? So that way I'm not just the senior coach. Our 8 and unders know me, and they love giving high fives, and and same with the 9-10s and the 11-12s and on up. Like, I know we have 70-ish kids normally at my site, and I know all 70 of them, and they all know me. So
yeah, that's very cool. With your senior group, what are some of the main things that you've done with them? Because you said you were doing high school swimming before, so you had worked with older athletes, but then like year round, what's been your philosophy around just like training, writing sets for these guys at the senior level, a general kind of overview of that, things that you do that are maybe similar or different from other people out there?
I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know that I'm doing anything special. I truly believe in keeping it the quality over the quantity without being afraid of the quantity, because I mean, we do still have the 7,000 yard days, and we probably average anywhere between probably right around 6,000 yards on average, because we have 2 days that are dedicated a week that we have an hour and a half practice where I do quality days and we're going 4,000 or under. And so it kind of balances out some of those heavier work days, but it keeps it fun, keeps them invested, and it's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys you do a lot of interesting stuff. If you're not following Coach JJ on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle? Just Swim Coach JJ, right?
Swim Coach JJ. Yeah. Simple. Made it easy for you.
Follow him on Instagram. You'll see all kinds of stuff that he's doing. Obviously, you can hear the humility too. Like there's nothing, he's saying nothing like super special, but I do think there is something special because you're very passionate about what you do and you share it all the time. So it's something that you love and you invest in, you take the time to really organize the sets and just help the kids be excited about it too. But it's clear that you're excited about the things that you're doing.
Love it.
And that is important, I think, as a coach, for the kids to know, like, not only did he put time and effort into this and is it going to be effective, but he loves what he's doing and is excited doing it. It makes people excited to be a part of it. What gave you the idea to start sharing things on social media, like your swim sets and videos and different things like that?
I mean, honestly, it was other coaches doing it. I mean, like Zhao up at Ball State right now, and just a couple others. I mean, Dave Sala does it pretty regularly as well, and it's the idea of like the more that we can put out there, and the more information we can put out there, the more likely someone's going to be helped by it. We don't know how or why, but they're going to be helped by it theoretically, and that's I mean the biggest reason why I do it. I mean, my goal is to make an impact on people and help them to understand this sport a little bit better, even if they don't understand exactly the words that are on the page that I put out there. But, that's what the DMs are for, and that's what comments are for. So, but
yeah, for sure. And talk about the behind the scenes of putting that type of stuff together, because it's really fun to watch on Instagram. It's really fun to get to take some of those sets and see how they can apply to some things that you're doing. But there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes too with the social media, right?
A little bit. I mean, it's a labor of love, I like to say, right? Because I mean, as you guys know, putting out content, it's never easy, and coming up with what to do. But for me, it's a lot of what I'm already doing. Like it's using the videos that I'm using in practice, that I'm taking in practice, or it's using, a still photo that I take quickly and I just overlay the workout over it. I mean, those are the easy ones to do, because I mean, at this point I've got a template down and I know what I'm doing, and it's, 2 minutes later and it's up, right?
Yeah.
It's building the reels and those things that, I mean, it takes a little more time, but for the most part, even those have gotten easier to do. This is the more I've done it.
Yeah. But there's a ton that goes in behind the scenes. So the product that everybody else gets to see out there, like you've obviously put time and effort into beforehand to make that possible.
And then it's always the, hey, you hit post, and then you go, dang it, there was a mistake there. I got to take it down and redo it. It's the worst. It's the worst. Because then it's like, is it bad enough that I have to take it down, or can I just leave it? Like,
yes. How bad is this spell? Is this spelling error really?
Right.
That's so funny. Well, I want to ask you some questions now specifically about your sets. So some of your favorites now being that you guys, I'll start with power, because I love a lot of the things I'm seeing out there with like Sprint Revolution with Brett Hawk, and I'm seeing a lot of the power towers and things that you guys do. Those are some of the really fun things to do.
Those
Obviously,
are the ones that get the most attention.
They get the most attention. I love our distance swimmers too, and I love watching distance.
And
but
honestly,
the sets are
former distance swimmer, I love a good distance set. I was a 500 freestyler and a 200 IMer, so I love just a good set of work. But there's a time and a place for it.
Yeah, and but those and the distance swimmers, they got different mindsets, man, that are super
100%.
super inspiring. And so we'll get to that too. But I want to start with the power sets that we see. And do you have a favorite power set you like to do with your kids, kind of like a go-to during maybe championship season, they're getting ready, race prep, or just like anything that is like your go-to? This is one of my favorite power sets.
The one we've been doing this last cycle, where we go, it's a 25 off the block with the parachute or on like a resistance cord, and then you would either lose the parachute or have a assisted speed on the next 25. And you can lead that into either 100, where it's 50 DPS, 15 seconds rest, 50 at back end or better, or something along that line. Or like this last one we did, it was like 225s and then another 225s, right? Just a little bit different, but still focusing on that speed element. But it's that contrast between the resisted work, trying to be at speed with the off the block element as much as you can. And then it's the, either assisted speed being pulled back in by the cord, or lose the chute altogether and have that just clean speed and be able to feel that relaxed coming off that parachute. So
that's that set that you're talking about. Is that something you just made up? Is that something that you like have learned from other coaches or just put together?
That one I made up. I mean, that one I was like, okay, how can I incorporate this? Because as much as I love our Destro towers, it's not always the easiest to dive a whole block wearing one of those. And so I was like, okay, I still want a power element, but I want, a little bit more access. And some of it's with my unique coaching situation with Anna, where she trains a couple hours away. She lives a couple hours away, so she does most of her training on her own, and they don't have a tower. And so I was trying to come up with ways to keep it similar to what we were doing where I had the tower, where she only had a parachute or a resistance cord.
That's really cool.
Trying to keep it, as even as I can across the group for all the athletes. So
it's cool that you're thinking outside the box, even for people in unique situations. Just shows like the passion and commitment, attention to detail. How about we'll swing to the other side of things here. Do you have a favorite distance set that you guys have done that you love doing when you guys have a more distance focused day?
I'm a big fan of anything that starts out with 2 500s.
Really?
2 500s into a broken, one can be pull, one can be smooth, anything along that nature. Like I don't know what it is, but it's setting that rhythm and getting that cycle and then repeating it just to really hone it in. And then you go into a little bit more speed focus where you go a broken 500 or even maybe a broken 1,000 or whatever, just to really hit your goal speeds and things like that. But it's you set your distance, you build your body to it, and then you're repeating, which, I mean, distance swimming, it's repetition, and you want to have that rhythm and be able to repeat that rhythm so that way you know what it's going to feel like.
Yeah. So. And with your guys as seniors, so obviously you guys do a bit of everything, but what's the mindset around just how often they get to do something that's more of like their specialty, so to speak, versus like continuing to develop them as well-rounded swim athletes? And everybody has slightly different opinions on this, and so I'm curious what your guys' are.
For me personally, I don't want to speak for Steven or anyone else because we're all a little bit different. But for me personally, I mean, we build it in where I'm doing primary stroke probably 2 to 3 times a week, but it's kind of in some of the other work that we're doing. Like we go typically like a threshold-ish Monday, and it'll be a mixed freestyle and primary stroke or secondary stroke, whatever you kind of want to work on. Tuesdays a little bit more 200 focused, back off some of the intensity, but still push pace and things like that. And again, we'll tie into stroke work a little bit there, but kind of keep it a more general and let them pick. Wednesdays, I almost always do IM just to kind of bring it all together for middle of the week, whether it be 200 or 400, I would rotate by week. Thursdays, a little bit more true distance days, that general aerobic. Fridays, we go fast, and Saturdays is kind of whatever I felt we need a little more of from the rest of the week. And so like Fridays are definitely our primary stroke day when we're going up, getting on the blocks, being fast. And Saturdays, a lot of times too, depending on whether that's another IM day or another pace day. And if it's an IM day, it might be a little more broken IM effort where it's stroke specific work, best stroke, worst stroke type stuff. But if it's 200 pace, obviously we're going best stroke and freestyle to take some of the load off the body. But yeah, I mean, anywhere between 2 to 3 times a week on a regular basis where they're really hitting high intensity, best stroke focus.
Gotcha. And they have a nice training pattern, it sounds like, where they can kind of know what to expect each day and come in and have a mindset around, okay, this is kind of what the theme's going to be today with a different set, but same theme. And that's, I think that's nice for kids to know the plan. And
it is and it isn't, right? Because then you get the same argument is, well, you don't want them to know what they're doing, so they don't skip a day of the week just because they don't want to do IM or don't want to do 200 work or whatever, right? But I don't know, it's worked for me the last couple of years, so I've kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. Is there a day that you notice that kids look forward to most?
Fridays. They love Fast Friday. They love it. It seems like it. I mean, it's hard, and they know that it's going to be hard, but it's the end of the week, one more morning practice after that, and they're done. So it's like, it kind of gets that juices flowing, but it's Friday. Friday's got to be their favorite.
Fast Fridays. I mean, people like to swim fast. That's true. It's just it's something that's a lot of fun. And that's something we need more of in the sport is kids just having fun, right? Especially at that senior level. Are there any things unique that you do to incorporate fun into like sets throughout the week or just the time you have with the kids on deck? Like anything that you can think of that just like little things that keep the sport fun? Because I feel like kids lose sight of that in the midst of the grind and working so hard, which is so important and it's repetitive and you have to have a good mindset, but you have to stay in love with the sport too.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't know that I do anything different or anything special. I like to say I am bad at fun when it comes to practices. But it's just, I mean, it's little things. Like I'll let them switch to social kick, or I'll let them have an input on, hey, I was seeing it this way. You guys want to do it this way? Okay, let's do it that way. Because then it's that a little bit more of that ownership. And while it might not necessarily be fun because it's still hard work, there, it's still just they made a choice, and sort of fun, I guess. I don't know. But I don't do any, like, we're not doing any games, but yeah, we might do some social kick or an extra kick set in there where their heads up and not necessarily labeled social kick or anything like that. But
yeah, that's something you said is actually pretty powerful. Swimmer autonomy, like having some say in the process and giving feedback. There's definitely coaches who don't do that, who don't take that feedback. And I think
it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard thing to kind of balance because you don't want to give them too much of a leash and then nothing get accomplished. But you also want to, especially on the senior side, you want them to feel included in the conversation. You want them to not even just feel, you want them to be included in the conversation because it is their career. It's they're the ones that are doing the work. I mean, I tell everybody that asks me, like, I don't do anything special. I just write sets on a board. Mm-hmm. They're the ones doing the work every day. Like they're the ones that make it special. Yeah, of course, me jumping around being a crazy person trying to get them to go a little faster or just give one more rep or whatever obviously has an effect. But like, I mean, it's their decision. They've got to consciously want to do it.
Those are the things that you just said. I feel like that do continue to help make it fun for athletes when they see your passion and you're going nuts on the deck and you're giving them some say in what it is. You're reminding them that, hey, this is your journey and you're here for them. Like those are, because not every moment when people say, oh, swimming should be fun. It certainly doesn't mean like every moment of swim training is going to be fun. That's like, there's no sport where it's like, oh, I love every single minute of my training. It's usually kind of the opposite, but you love the results. You love the feeling of working hard. You fall in love with that process. But when you have someone who does let you be, have a say in your journey, and when you have someone who makes it about you and not about themselves, when you have someone who loves watching them perform and make it special, like that's it right there. Like that's coaching. So I think it's exciting. What advice would you have for coaches out there maybe who are interested in doing something kind of like what you do in terms of like, sharing things publicly, but maybe they are more of the people who hold everything super close to their chest and don't want to do that, but they like taking stuff from what you're sharing, but they don't necessarily want to share. What type of advice would you give to someone out there of why sharing information could be rewarding for them?
I mean, the amount of impact that it can have on, I mean, I get messages all the time from other coaches in other countries and things like that. They just don't have the same access to it as what we do over here. And so like, it's making an impact there. And so like, I mean, you just never know what the effect's going to be or who it's going to help and how it's going to help them each day. I mean, I started out and I was super descriptive early on with some of the sets that I posted, talking about the results that we had in practice. And I don't overly do that anymore because no one knows who my swimmers are necessarily, right? Like they don't know the names. They don't know what the times mean. They don't, and so now it's more general, but again, it's helped me to, kind of create a path of where I'm going and what I see, because I like doing this. I want to do a little bit more of that. Or I see, other coaches posting it and I'm like, okay, I really like that. I'm going to use some of that. And so it's just that idea of, cultivating creativity is so huge.
Cultivating creativity. I like that. Have you seen it grow, like your network too, like friendships or people that have talked to you on deck or people that, it's grown your coaching network? Absolutely.
I mean, your fellow Swim Strong team up there in Lifetime Metro. I've become super close with Dan and Asher over the last, year and a half. And I love those guys. Dan and I literally probably share sets with each other 2 to 3 times a week and, just have that conversation. So
that's so cool. That's so cool. And I am a big believer that when you are a part of a community and learning from other people, if you're always learning and have that mindset, just staying humble, staying hungry, you're going to be the best. We talk about making our athletes the best version of themselves all the time and doing everything we can to help them get there. But a lot of us as coaches, I think, struggle to walk that out in our own lives. And I think a big part of that is exactly what you're just saying, something that you're doing, just constantly sharing information, but also constantly learning and building relationships. And you have a community around you that is going to push you to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and that's exactly it. You want to be the best version of yourself every day, and you want to help your athletes, find that same success.
Well, JJ, I appreciate your time a ton on this podcast. I hope people really dive in. I hope people follow you on social media and really see the things that you're doing, because they will be impacted by that. And if anything, it'll cultivate some creativity.
Absolutely.
And people also appreciate you just being super real and genuine on here and saying, hey, I'm not a guru by any means, although to me it seems like you are. But for
hey, I'm still learning like everybody else. I mean, I'm still learning every day, trying to take whatever I can get from anybody else. So
yeah, and that hopefully is really encouraging to people who are like, hey, I don't really know a ton, but I want to start sharing. I want to start coaching. I want to start learning and growing and just start doing it. Like, just do it. I think people are terrified to just start doing stuff like that. And you've done that.
First step is making that first post. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I mean, go back and look 2 years ago when I started. They're not great. And even now, I still don't know that they're great, but they're
pretty awesome.
But
well, I appreciate you being on here a ton. I appreciate you being a part of the Swim Strong family and for all that you do for Excel Aquatics and the swimming world. JJ, thanks for taking the time on here.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch a new episode each Monday. You can also check us out on social media at Swim Strong Dryland. If you would like to join the Swim Strong family, visit our website at swimstrongdryland.com.